I care about one Nvidia model release right now, because AI competition is moving from chat demos to systems that can plan, call tools, and work across long tasks. Nvidia says Nemotron 3 Super is an open 120 billion parameter reasoning model built for that shift. The source says it aims to sit between a smaller nano version and a larger ultra model still to come. It also says the model offers much higher throughput than the previous generation, alongside better accuracy. If those claims hold, that matters beyond Nvidia. It could lower the cost of building advanced agent systems, and that matters for China too. Chinese firms, labs, and local governments are all trying to balance access, performance, and control. So this is not just a product story. It is a question about who gets to build capable AI, and on what terms. The source describes Nemotron 3 Super as a hybrid model with several moving parts. It combines mobile layers, which are presented as memory efficient, with transformer layers, which are presented as more accurate. It also uses a mixture of expert setup, so only part of the model is active for each token. Nvidia says that design improves cache efficiency and speeds up inference. The article also highlights multi-token prediction, a 1 million token context window, and what it calls latent MOE. On top of that, the model is linked to reinforcement learning environments through Nemotron. The stated goal is clear. This is not framed as a general chatbot first. It is framed as a reasoning engine for multi-agent workflows. In plain terms, Nvidia is saying this model is meant to think through long, tool-heavy tasks without slowing down too much. The most important tension here is not just speed versus intelligence. It is openness versus control. The source says Nvidia is open sourcing not only the weights, but also datasets, libraries, and reinforcement learning environments. It cites artificial analysis as placing the model in a high openness, high accuracy position. That is a significant claim, even if viewers should treat vendor-linked reporting with care. For China, this tension is familiar. Chinese AI development often has to work around export controls, uneven access to top hardware, and the need for local adaptation. In that setting, open models can be more than a technical preference. They can be a strategic tool. They let firms tune systems for language, regulation, and industry use cases. But open models also spread capability more widely. That can reduce dependence on a few closed providers, while creating new governance and security questions at the same time. Even though this is an Nvidia release, the China angle is strong. The source says organizations and places, including Asia and Europe, are using the Nemotron architecture to build localized models for regional and regulatory needs. That idea matters in China, where the state, major platforms, and enterprise buyers all care about controllable infrastructure. A model with long context, strong tool use, and adjustable reasoning budgets could fit enterprise settings better than a model built mainly for consumer chat. The source also points to software development, cybercasualty, and sovereign AI as key applications. Those are exactly the kinds of fields where China wants domestic capacity. Still, there is a practical limit. Access to advanced compute remains a bottleneck, and the article notes different quantization formats and hardware requirements. So the question is not whether open models solve everything. It is whether they widen China's room to maneuver. So what should viewers watch after this release? First, independent verification. The source makes strong claims about throughput, accuracy, and agent performance, and those need outside testing. Second, adoption. If developers actually use the full open stack, that tells us something about trust and practicality. Third, China's response. Chinese firms may not copy this design directly, but they will study the trade-offs, swarm context, modular reasoning, tool use, and cost control through reasoning budgets. And finally, the bigger question. Does open infrastructure narrow the gap with proprietary frontier systems? Or does the hardware layer still decide who wins? This episode does not answer that fully, but it does make the landscape clearer. Nvidia is not only selling chips here, it is also shaping the terms of the open model debate, and the debate matters for China's AI future.